Hello everyone, welcome. This is Chemistry 1, so General Chemistry 1, Chem 111, and this is Calhoun Community College, spring of 2021. I'm Dr. Rhonda Kofelt, and so I'll be your guide this semester. This first slide, I just want to give you a little orientation to some important things to get you started out right. We have some collaborate sessions scheduled for you. And if you go in, when you go into the Blackboard, there's a button on the left that says collaborate, and you just click on that and it'll take you to the collaborate room, which is where we'll have our meeting. If you want to come in with your phone, you can actually come in using this address, and you can either download the app for Collaborate, or you can just come in just using your phone and the browser. If you have questions about that, you can go to Help in Blackboard on the left, and then click Collaborate, and then it'll tell you exactly what you need to do. So if you're out and about and you don't have time to get home or whatever, you can still log in on your phone and you can see everything and hear everything. There's another communication issue for you. This is called Remind, and Remind is a texting app that we use so that we don't share our private information. But if you follow the directions, I've got a picture, I like pictures, that shows you exactly what to do. You go in, and when you text to it, it will tell you. Now, if you've got a smartphone, just use this one, okay? If your phone is not smart, then you can use the second option, but you only have to do this one if you have a smartphone, and then that'll give you SMS when there is a message or whatever. The other thing on this slide to get you started is the first week activities. So I don't have any like homework and all that stuff the first week. I just want you to get ready for everything, but there's a lot to do, and that's why I do it this way. You also have the opportunity to get 10 bonus points right off the bat, and that's added to your bottom line, okay? So that's a really, really good thing. There are several things that you have to do. Now, a lot of this stuff you have to do anyway, but if you do them by sometime before the 15th, which is Friday, then you will get bonus points for each one of these things that you do. I have the location, so how you get to them once you get into Blackboard. Hopefully you know how to get into Blackboard. Once you get into Blackboard, then you can follow the course information, course overview, syllabus, follow those directions like I have them on here. Do what it asks you to do, okay? So you're going to complete the syllabus quiz. That is critical for your attendance. That has to be done anyway, so you might as well do it soon. You're viewing the video already, so you can check that one off. You can find a copy of the syllabus to read in course information on Blackboard. All right, then you're going to do an introduction, just a quick, I've got exactly what I want you to tell us about. You can do it in bullet points if you want to, or you can do it in a paragraph. I don't care. We just quickly do that so we know where you're from, what your plans are, and kind of what's going on with you. Register for Remind, which I gave you the instructions up there. I have a learning styles assessment that I like for everybody to do. And there, like I said, in Help, it'll tell you how to do that. But you're going to get 4 scores, a V, an A, an R, and a K. And that just gives me a little bit of an idea of how you learn, so that if you struggle or have problems or need some help with study, I can focus in on that by knowing kind of where you are. You complete the practice for exam work assignment. This is, I have on here where you can download apps so that you can take pictures and turn them into facts and then upload them into the system as an assignment. This is how you're going to show me your work for your exams, okay? And then register for your mastering and register for Labster. So this is your homework, this is your lab. Now, here's the thing. Notice this little comment right here. Don't say, well, my financial aid ain't here yet. Well, that's not going to cut it. All right, you need to go ahead and sign up. You'll have 2 weeks to pay for it. Okay, so you can go ahead and get your bonus points and get all of that stuff lined up. And so you start off with a really high score because you'll only have bonus points. And go ahead and sign up for those. That way you can go ahead and start your homework the first of next week and you're on the ground running. Okay. That way if you have problems trying to figure it out, or you don't have your code or anything, it doesn't matter. You can still go ahead and sign up, and then when you get your code that you purchased from the bookstore, then you can make sure that all that's taken care of and you can become legal. So, as I said, I'm Dr. Rhonda Kofelt, and so that's me at Stonehenge last summer. I am the full-time chemistry instructor at the Huntsville campus. And if you need me, I'm not going to be on the Huntsville campus this semester because we're all online. So you'll have to appointment, or you can send me a remind request, and then we'll get together. Okay. The labs are going to be virtual, and you have to have had Math 112, or you have to have permission. So if you had placement scores, if it let you sign up for it, you should be good. But if you have any questions, and that's the minimum. If you've had calculus, you've already had enough algebra for this course. So don't worry about it, okay? This is a 4-semester credit course because the lab and the lecture are all together. All right, so your textbook, you must get the online resources, okay? So that is this one. When you go to the bookstore, you're going to notice that you're going to see these two. And I think one of these is like $146 and one of them is like $240. All right. This one has an e-text along with your mastering homework. This is just the homework. This one has a hard copy of the text. Okay. In addition to that other stuff. So if you use a book, buy the book. If you don't usually use the book that much, then don't buy it. Okay? If you think you'll use the e-text, that's fine. If you only want the minimum requirement, which is your mastering chemistry access for your homework, then when you go into the course, you can go to the first lab, click on it. It'll take you to Pearson's website. You can, with a credit card, purchase just the access, and I think it's like $60, $70, something like that. So it's your cheapest option for your homework. All of this stuff is available at the Calhoun bookstore as well. We use a software called Labster for your labs, so there's no lab manual. All right, everything you need is in that the Labster software. You will purchase a voucher at the campus bookstore in order to be legal. But remember, you can, both the homework and Labster, you can go ahead and sign up for it before you have this stuff. So you don't have to pay for it for a couple of weeks. If you don't want to purchase materials from the bookstore and get maybe a better price on it, you can buy your codes directly from Pearson for homework and Labster for your lab. If you want to know how to do that, just like if you want to know how to do anything, click on the Help tab in Blackboard, and then you can click on Registering for Mastering or Register for Labster, and it'll tell you exactly what to do. Okay, so if you need help, push the help button. Okay, all right. I have developed for you a Chemistry 1 workbook. Okay, now you do have to get this from the bookstore. I think it's somewhere around $20. Okay, it's not a lot. It's a three ring binder, but it has copies of your slides and your in-class bonus homework. All of this stuff can be found on Blackboard. The problem is, though, if you use what's on Blackboard, you have to print it. And a lot of times students don't want to print it, or they just don't print it. And so it's all there together for you, and you don't have to worry about what do I print this week or whatever. If you don't get your workbook, sometimes they run out because they never order enough. If you can't get it before we start next week from the bookstore and can't get by there or whatever, then you can print off the first ones, okay? The first ones in Blackboard. If you're interested in like exactly where on Blackboard things are located, I'm doing some Collaborate orientation sessions this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So, and I've got different times on different days. So most of you should be able to find a time that you would work for you. You've got to have computer access. This is an online course, okay? That means you have to be able to do your homework online, and you have to do your labs online, and you have to be able to get into Blackboard. So you can't just go to Aunt Julia's once or twice a week, okay? You need access. So if you don't have high-speed internet at your house, then you're going to have to figure out where you're going to go and what days you're going to do it, okay? So if you've got questions about that, please contact me. Also, if you have an issue with laptops or your computer, or you don't, something like that, if you go to help and contact our IT department, they do have loaner laptops, okay? So you can run by there and check one out, and you can have that laptop for the whole semester. So it's a good idea. All right, you do need a scientific calculator. All right, the scientific calculator, either a TI-83 or a TI-84. A TI-30XS is also pretty good. I know those are pretty cheap. I think the bookstore sells them for like $20, this one. All right, it doesn't have to be that exact one though, but these are the ones I really know well. So if you want help, it's a good idea to have these Texas Instruments. Also, you're going to have study guides, self-checks, lecture videos, discussion questions, and all kinds of other materials in the Blackboard course. So I have put together, I think, a pretty good course, and so hopefully you'll think so too. And then you can always use the library. We don't use it a lot in this class, but it's there for you if you need it. So I mentioned Blackboard. Blackboard is our LMS, our Learning Management System. This is how you get into it. If you're viewing this video, you probably have already gotten in there, so that's good. If you have any problems with Blackboard, the help desk, I've got their number there, or that information is also under the help button. Okay, so if you need that, you can also go there. This is going to be a fully distance learning or online course, and so you're going to have some self-discipline. But kids have been doing really well. Kids, I'm not supposed to call y'all kids. Everyone's been doing really well so far. So, I haven't had really any mass failures or anything. So if they can do it, you can do it. This is the stuff you're going to learn. Okay, and you have to learn 70% of this stuff, all right, well, in order to pass the course. And so these may not mean a whole lot to you right now, but you're going to see these, okay? CLO stands for Course Learning Outcome, and I have course learning outcomes, and then in each unit, I have unit outcomes that are going to be tied to that. So you're going to have this big one, solve measurement problems using dimensional analysis, and you may have 4 unit outcomes that are going to teach you how to do that. And so you'll kind of see how those are linked in the Blackboard course. So here's an outline, a general outline of what we're going to be doing, which chapters per unit we're going to do, and which labs we're going to do. Notice that some of the labs say Labster and some of them don't. The ones that say Blackboard, okay, those are going to be a little bit different from your Labsters, and they're going to involve either doing something on paper and then taking a quiz over it, or uploading something. You're going to learn all about how to do that. Don't worry, I've got very specific instructions. And then or watching a video and completing that. Okay, so and then this one is a reflection lab where it's an essay thing where you tell me, what you learned and that kind of thing. So that should be a gimme, I call it. So you've got four that are not Labster, and then the rest of them are going to be found in your Labster. Okay, there is a final exam that is comprehensive, as in all your material, but it is not mandatory and it will replace one exam grade. So if you do really bad on an exam or you miss an exam, then you do have the option of replacing that grade with the final exam grade. So one of the things you're going to see on Blackboard is a schedule. And now the one I have on Blackboard, I think I have it on it's like 2 pages. Okay, so it's bigger, so you can kind of see it. But I have it set up so that at the beginning of each unit, you're going to go in here and you're going to say, okay, Module 1, Chapter E videos, and it tells you up here that they're all in Course Content Unit 1. So you're going to view that and fill in the blanks for your in-class bonus. Okay, notice that says bonus. Those are worth 5 bonus points on each exam if you do all the chapters, and I explain exactly what's going on with that. So you've done that, and then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to look at your mastering homework. So these videos that I have in here, I have done what's called chunking. So pretty much each learning outcome in that unit is going to be one 10-minute video. So you can do all of them if you want to. You can do one at a time, whatever you're most comfortable with. Okay, sorry, I got all choked up because it's so wonderful. Then you'll have a lab in Labster, and so you'll check that off. So I've set this up so that as you go through each thing that you can check off and you won't miss anything. Some people get a little paranoid about, oh, have I done everything? Okay, so this is set up for you. The only thing that I don't have on here, and you'll see it when you're in the unit, as you finish the unit, and the last thing you do is you're going to take the unit exam. So you'll have a module practice quiz for Module 1, a practice quiz for Module 2, where you can take them up to 5 times to practice. And then the unit exam is going to be the last thing you do. So it'll always be that last week of the unit. And then there's a survey. Okay, and it's quick. It's like 5 minutes, and you're just going to go in there, and I'm going to say, how are the slides working for you? And you do between 1 and 6. 6 is amazing, or I can't remember which way I did it now, but you'll see on there. And so it's either amazing or you didn't use it at all. How about the labs? How about this? How about that? And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out what's working for you and what's not working for you so that I can make it better. All right, so you're helping me make it better. And this is where you find that checklist in course information. It's with the course syllabus, okay, and then you'll find it there. And then the survey will be right after you click on the test, you click on where you're going to submit your exam work, and then the very next thing you're going to go straight down that unit will be the survey. So if you go right down the unit and click on all those things, you will get it all done. Okay? Try to be as organized as I can. All right, so I've blown this one up a little bit just to kind of so you can see it. So this is your first week, and the first week is going to be between 1:11 and 1:15. Okay, so why do I have due dates in a range? Because if I put 1:15, that's when you're going to do it, and you can't do all of this stuff on one day. I mean, you could maybe, but you probably don't want to. So from Monday when we start until Friday, you've got all this time to complete these things. Okay, so go through and do them. If you want to do them all at once, that's fine. That's probably how I'd do it. But you know, it's like signing up for things. It's submitting your first assignment, your practice assignment. This practice assignment, I've got it set up where it's in course information, testing, practice submitting exam work, and you can find that by going there, and you can practice doing that as many times as you need to. Okay, and I have specific instructions on how you can use your cell phone to take pictures and then convert those pictures into one PDF file, into one Adobe file, because that's what you're going to send me. So you need to make sure you can do that before you have to do it for the exam. All right, and then you're registering for stuff and taking your learning style assessment. Do you have to do them all? No, but for attendance, you have to do the quiz and you have to sign up for those for mastering and for Labster. So you have to do those anyway. So go ahead and do them by the 15th so that you will get the bonus points for them. Okay. Then when we start the next week, and I've got it starting on 111 because you're welcome if you get all your pre-course stuff done from the previous slide. Go ahead and start on your Unit 1 if you want to. They're gonna work the same way every time. So you'll have a video with your fill in the blank, and they're called in-class bonus. Okay, and what those are, they're fill in the blank to help you go through the videos, and then there are practice problems. I work the examples, okay, and you can follow along with me, and then there will be practice problems that immediately follow that you can work to make sure you understand it. All right, so as you're going through, make sure you're doing that. Some people like to then make a copy from Blackboard, because this is all in your notebook. They make a copy from Blackboard and then go through and make sure they can work them again before they take their practice quiz. You're going to also complete your first lab in Labster. It's called Lab Safety. And again, if you go to Unit 1, you're going to see videos, Mastering Homework 1, okay, Lab 1. It just goes straight down the page just like that. Same order, same everything. Then you're going to be ready to take the practice quiz after you do those. Notice, this is by 125. You're also going to do an initial discussion post by 125. I've even told you how many points there were. You get that done by 125. Can you do it earlier? Please do. Okay, but the latest you can do it is 125, January 25th. And then because you're going to have another module, Module 2, which is Chapter 1, videos, mastering homework, another lab, practice quiz, and the response post. I am nothing if I am not consistent. So this is how it will be every time. And then the last thing you'll do is your Unit 1 exam over both modules. Okay, so you'll complete that and then you submit your work the same way we did our practice submitting work in that first week. Once we've done that, that will be February 8th by the time we're done with that. Notice you get a whole week to do this. All right, and I'm going to tell you about the review sessions in just a minute. Okay? Awesome. All right, grade plan. You got 5 unit exams that are worth 100 points each. You have 10 practice quizzes, which are worth 10 points each. You have lab reports, which are worth roughly 20 points. They're 200 total. And 10 module homework assignments, which are 10 points each. And then your discussion posts, which are worth 20 points each. You have 5 of those because there's one of those per unit. Okay, so everything is like 5 or 10. Okay, you do also have, as I mentioned earlier, the final exam, which will replace one of your previous exams if you need to. You don't have to. Okay, it's absolutely up to you. Okay, so bonus points. Everybody always wants to know what bonus points are. You get it, the first 10 bonus points at the beginning for your pre-course stuff that I just talked about, and then the in-class guided notes. that go along with the videos for each unit, and you have to completely finish them, okay? Completely finish them or you won't get credit. And then here's your grading scale. It's similar, 90's an A, 80's a B, etc. Okay? I will round it if it's 89.9. Okay? So your assignments, you're going to have your chapter slides, your videos, and your guided notes. You're going to review all that, and then you're going to go to your mastering and complete your assignments in your homework. Okay? You should have purchased a code for your mastering assignments, all right? And that's kind of what it looks like there on the left. You got to be in Blackboard a lot, okay? You got to be in here a lot because you not only are you going to be doing things, and it's best to try to do a little bit every day rather than trying to do everything at one time. Your labs, the lab component, some people like to do these like all at once. I don't know, it's crazy. But theoretically, if you have a 2-week, I learned this last semester. Somebody, like, they got the 2-week trial period, and they went in and they did every single lab. And so they ended up not having to pay for Labster, but they had the grades. I do not recommend that, but theoretically, it could be done. So to access these, you're going to go into the course content, Unit 1, and then Module 1, and you're going to see, it'll say Lab Number 1, and it's going to be Lab Safety, and you click on that, and it will take you to the Labster simulation software. Okay, you got to do that, or else it won't log it in my gradebook. Once you get there, then it'll say, do you have a code? Or whatever. And so if you have a code, you put it in. If you don't have a code, look really hard because the writing is kind of small and it's like trial, something about a free trial. And so you can click on that and do your 2 weeks while you wait to get your code from the bookstore. You can rework your labs an ultimate amount of time. So labs can be done unlimited, okay? The Pearson assignments, it won't let me do that. So unlimited in Pearson is 5 times. Okay, so in your labs in Labster, you can go back and you can redo those over and over again. I don't care how many times until you get 100%. All right, but in your Pearson, your homework, your mastering, for them, unlimited is 5 times. So you can only do it 5 times before it will take the highest score, and that'll be all she wrote. Okay? But if you take your time and prepare before you go in there, the homework is for you to do after you've done your guided notes and your videos. You do have a discussion. One discussion type is your student center, and this is where you can post questions. Strongly urge you, any lab questions that you have, post them in the student center discussion because other students are doing this probably at the same time you are, and they already know what to do. I'll have to go in and look at it, and it'll take me longer. If they've already done the lab, then they can probably help you get through a point if you're stuck on something. Sometimes people can't figure out, how to empty a beaker or something like that, and you just have to, drag it a certain way, and so it's very easy to ask someone for help. The other discussions, you're going to have 5 discussions. You're going to have an initial post, which is going to be made by the first Monday of the unit, and then a response, at least one response to, and you can do more, but at least one response to a classmate's initial post by the last Monday of that time. So the first week and then the second week, all right, because you're going to have all your work done before test week. So your practice tests are mostly by chapter, okay? But practice test, you also get up to 5 attempts, but they are random, so you may get different questions. So it's actually a good idea to do it multiple times. Okay, so I strongly advise you to do that. Questions could be some of these extra practice problems that you were assigned in your in-class notes, or it could be some from the test, or it could be some that are very similar to the test, or it could be some from the test bank. Okay? Then your exams have a time limit of 120 minutes, which is 2 hours. Sorry about that typo. It will shut off after the time expires. Didn't mean that, really. There'll be 2 modules per unit exam. There are 5 units in the course consisting of 2 modules each, which is 10 modules, so 2 modules per exam. Any information you need, if you go to help and testing, it'll tell you how that works. Notice what I did not have on here is I don't have web proctoring on here. I don't say you have to have a webcam or honor lock or any of that other stuff. You don't. What you do have to do is you have to show me your work, and you have to upload that work within 10 minutes after you get done. That's why you're going to practice doing it in your practice submitting exam work in that first week. And you can go back and do it after you've tried it a couple of times. You can go back and keep trying it, okay, until you get it down. Okay, I know it can be done. Most people can get it done in 5 minutes. You just got to remember to do it as soon as you get done with the test. That is how I am monitoring you for cheating. Okay, so instead of videotaping you and watching you like a stalker, I am letting you show me your work. Any question, any problem that requires calculation, you must show your work. Now, I've had people buck me on this, and they turned it in. They either didn't submit or they just didn't put the work on there. And guess what they got? They got a 0. Now, on the first exam, did I go back and talk to them about it a little bit? I did. But please don't make me go through that, because I'm doing this for you rather than requiring you to do honor lock or something like that, which is a pain. I'm letting you do this one simple thing, uploading this work. So respect me for that, and I'll respect you. Attendance for online courses, the first week, okay, you have to submit your syllabus quiz after watching this video, and then you have to register for Pearson and Labster, and those need to be done by January 15th. Okay, all of the information for how to do all this stuff is in course information and help. After that, your attendance is, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Are you making your deadlines? Okay, if something happens and you drop off the face of the earth and stop coming, okay, I'm going to email you and I'm going to ask you where you went and, try to see if everything's okay. But it's not my responsibility, and this is how I feel, to withdraw you. Okay, so if something comes up, communicate with me. As long as you're communicating with me, I can give you a break. As long as it's just not crazy. But you can't get too far behind in chemistry because it's just so hard to catch up. But if you get an F because you were not coming, then, that's on you. Okay? Some instructors I know will give you a withdrawal. I don't really feel like that's my place to withdraw you. So remember, if you stop coming, you need to communicate with me and let's talk about whether or not you need to withdraw. Okay? I know things come up. I've worked with people, childbirth, things like that, okay? But if you're military deployed, okay, if you have jury duty, if you have college or high school related events, if you're a dual enrollment student, if you have approval from the dean or whatever, then I will work with you, okay? I have to excuse certain things, is what I'm saying. So I'll allow you to make that. That doesn't mean you don't have to do them, but I'll let you make them up. Now, other things, okay? I'm sick. My baby's sick. My grandma's sick. I had a car wreck, okay? I get that. I really do, okay? So if something happens, if you know it's going to happen, okay? Somebody dies, you know you're going to go to a funeral, and you know it's going to put you behind, send me an email or a remind or something. It's best to email me those because then I have a hard copy of it. So make sure that you tell me up front if you can. If you can't, it just, you get sick and you can't, then you get with me, send me an email as soon as you possibly can. All right? The faster you do that and the more you talk to me, the more likely I am to be empathetic with you and let you make things up. Okay? If your exam is not excused, you're going to get a 0. Now, I need documentation if something happens. I used to not require it, and people took advantage of that. So, unfortunately, I have to have some type of documentation. So, if you miss more than one exam, I'm going to really be looking at you hard, okay? Some people have ADA things going on, and that if you do and you got lots of doctor's appointments or surgeries or whatever, make sure that you register with the ADA department and let them you can find that in student services tab, and make sure that they can get with you, and you can have all of your teachers notified of that. Okay? All right. Your homework assignments, if you submit them after the due date, you'll get a 0. Okay? Unless you got a really good story. Okay? If you got a really good story, sometimes I will work with you. If you realized that, oh my gosh, it's 11 p.m. on the due date and I forgot to do my homework assignment, go ahead and start doing it. Okay? It will still mark it as submitted late, but if you'll send me an email and say, hey, sorry, I forgot, but I started it as soon as I remembered and it's done, then I can go in and look at it. It will not score you unless I go in and manually do it. So if you do it and you don't tell me, then I don't know, and so you won't get credit for it. So don't be yelling at me because your grade's not on there. If I do approve a makeup exam, it's your responsibility to contact me, and I can't go back and grade it unless you tell me. The grade book does not go back and change zeros. Only I can do that. Okay? So make sure you do. Your labs, you have to finish labs. If you miss more than 2 of these labs, or if you don't complete them, then you're going to get a 0 for the whole course, because I can't transfer this class to UAH or UNA or any other letters if you have not completed the labs. That's a requirement for transfer. But the good news is I have these open all the time. There's a due date, but if you don't do it by the due date, you could still go back and do it. But guess what you have to do? You have to email me and let me know you did it, or else I won't know. Deal? So if you're late, it's on you to make sure I know that you did something late. I don't have a specific, I'm going to dock you 10% or I'm going to do this. It's really on a case-by-case basis. If you do it once, fine, shame on you, you forgot or whatever. If you are always late, then you are going to get increasingly harsher deductions for that, okay? So just don't do it. Ooh, I sound really mean, don't I? All right, Calhoun email. Make sure that you do your Calhoun email, okay? This is very important, and if possible, you could link. You can always undo this later, okay? But you can link your Calhoun email to in your smartphone, and y'all are smarter about it than I am, and I was able to do it. Okay, if you choose Exchange on there, not Outlook, choose Exchange, and go in and put the stuff in there like your login and all that, and it will then notify you on your phone when you have Calhoun emails. Okay. All right, withdrawal policy. If you withdraw, you get a W. Okay. Now, technically, you're supposed to be passing the course, but if you go in and you withdraw, I'm not going to go back and argue the matter. Okay. I get it. Life gets in the way. I've withdrawn from classes before back in the day when I was a student, so I totally understand that. I don't have the withdrawal date yet, but it's usually in April, so you got plenty of time to figure out if you want to withdraw from this or not. I didn't go through the Calhoun email stuff, but you should. It tells you, what your email address is and all that. You should know. All right. Tutoring options. The Star Institute. We have Star Institutes on Decatur and Huntsville campuses. Awesome people. Okay. They will help you. I'm serious. Now, they're not in there every day because we're doing online courses. Okay. So you either need to go to the icon on the My Calhoun portal page. That's where you first come in. Or go to their website right there, okay? Or you can call them, and they can hook you up with a tutor that will sit with you for an hour. You can do it 2 times a week if you want. Sit with you for an hour, and they usually use like Zoom or Collaborate or something, and so they can go through, they can share their whiteboard. Remember, you can do this on your phone. Okay, so no excuses if you don't have a webcam, because I know your phone has one. All right, and then the other thing we have is tutor.com, and it's pretty much 24/7. There's a tutor.com tab in our Blackboard course over there on the left menu. So you can click on that, and it's course specific, so it'll know what your courses are, and you tell them which course you need somebody for. Now, review sessions can be scheduled throughout the semester. I cannot meet everybody's schedule. So I encourage you, if you want to form a study group, I can facilitate that, and I can give you a Collaborate room where you can all get together, or you can, go to Panera and wear your mask and sit 6 feet apart. But we can facilitate that if you want to do study groups. We're in Central Time, okay? So make sure if you're not in Huntsville that you adjust your deadlines accordingly, because Central Time is what I'm going by, okay? All right, so during week 1, okay, this week, you're probably seeing this on Monday, which is 111. On Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm going to have Collaborate sessions, and I tell you how to get there. I already talked about it a little bit at the very beginning. Tuesday at 10 a.m., Wednesday at 5 p.m., Thursday at 12 p.m., and Friday at 6 p.m. So I tried to do some mornings and evenings for everybody. Sorry, I don't get up at 8 o'clock if I don't have to. So that's why the earliest one is at 10. But I'm hoping that, everybody can at least make one of those. If you can't, and you have more questions about the syllabus, about how to find things, this is where I'm going to talk more in detail for you about where to go to find certain things, okay? So if you're not familiar with Blackboard and you don't feel real comfortable with how to navigate and everything, please make sure you come to one of these with all of your questions, and they will be answered. And I'll even go live and show you how to do it, okay? So this is a list of all of our review sessions. Now, these are not mandatory, okay? Let me write that down. Not mandatory. What does that mean? That means that you don't have to come. It is not going to negatively affect your grade in any way. But the people who do the best in my class are the ones that try to come to as many of these as they can. I know yours are on Friday night. I know that kind of sucks because I know, you know, some of y'all have a life, but not as much of a life as you did before the pandemic, right? So I'm hoping this semester that Fridays will kind of work out. So yours are always on Fridays at 6 p.m. And so every Friday at 6 p.m., you can go into the Collaborate room and I will be there. And I will, if I'm going to see how it goes, different classes are different. So if y'all are really prepared when you come in, then we might just do some Kahoot stuff and have fun while we learn. Okay. I will work some of the practice problems if you've got questions about them. We're doing it on Friday, and all your stuff is due on Monday. So that's why I had to do it on Friday, and I didn't think y'all would want to do it on Saturday because I didn't. And so every Friday you'll be able to come and have a review over the material that we covered that week before. And if you've got questions like that go back farther, like say you come on the 29th for the module 2, I'm going to answer everybody's questions over chapter 1 first. And then if you still have some questions over chapter E, that first one, weren't able to come or whatever, then after everybody else gets off, then I'll stay with you and work on the chapter E for you. So I'm only doing this, like I'm saying, we'll be here from 6 to 7-ish, but I'll stay till 8 if I need to, if that's what y'all need. And then the Friday before exam week, we will have a review of both for the final review. And so this is a good time for us to go over your practice quizzes and things like that and make sure you understand how to do everything. I'll work problems for you and all that. So these are mostly for your homework stuff, and then this will be for your practice exam, you know, how to work certain problems in that. Okay? All right? Okay, so if you have any questions, I know you're watching a recording, so you probably, oh, wait, sorry, I almost forgot. I will record these. So the recordings will be in Collaborate, and you can go to Help Collaborate, and it'll tell you how to access those, the Collaborate review sessions. So if you miss one, you can go and watch it. Okay. If you have questions about any of this stuff, first place you need to go is Help folder in Blackboard. You go to the left-hand menu and click on Help. Then Student Center General Discussion Board. Place your question on there, especially if it's about lab or homework. Third way, Collaborate sessions. Come to those, ask your questions. Fourth way, Remind. If it's something that it's midnight and it's keeping you up, and you're just not going to be able to sleep because you can't get the answer, then you can send me a text and I will respond to you. I usually don't go to bed till like 1 or 2 o'clock. That's why I don't get up early. So if you need something, you can text me, and then email me if you want to. I do, of course, like all of y'all, I have my smartphone on my hip. And so if I see you sent me an email, I will respond to you. And finally, just remember, chemistry can be fun, okay? It's fun for me, okay? But it can be fun for you if you will look at it like, how is this going to help me? How does this explain something in the real world or something in my life that I've always wondered? Because that's why I got involved in chemistry, because it explains everything. I look forward to interacting with you guys during this semester.